Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh boy, it's we got a lot to cover here, and what these evildoers have been caught doing yet again to President Trump is very specific and very disgusting. I'm going to go over a story. There was another coup attempt against our great president, Donald Trump, in his first term that we are just learning about for the first time now. I've lost track of how many coups they've got going against him, and this is a coup separate and apart from the Obama coup. It has some of the same players involved, but this was a separate coup attempt in his first term. And, you know, here in America, we like to think of ourselves as living in a first world country, right? Where we're a free country, we're a democratic republic, and you know we're not like these countries around the world that are banana republics and have lawlessness going on and everything. But the reality is, our country is just like that. We have been run by gangsters. We've been run by outlaws. And this is why they've been after Trump all these years. So this is from Fox News. This is Catherine Herridge, and she's got some really good reporting here that I'm going to go through. And this is really bad. I mean, this is just really bad stuff. Let me pull it up here, and then we'll talk about it.
Sean, Baker's testimony matters because he had a pivotal...
Now, by the way, the audio on this is not stereophonic. That's just the original recorded audio of this. It's on X, so I apologize for that, but we got what we got. When we're uncovering a coup against President Trump, we can't complain about the fidelity of the audio, right?
Sean, Baker's testimony matters because he had a pivotal role at the Bureau as the top FBI lawyer. He had the ear of then-Director James Comey, and his testimony is at odds with Rosenstein's denials. Last week, he told Fox News he couldn't get into it.
Now listen to this.
Mr. Baker, did you handle the dossier? Did you warn Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein that there was exculpatory information before he signed the final surveillance warrant? Mr. Baker, will you take our questions?
But since sources describe Baker's testimony as forthcoming, deliberate, and sober, Baker telling congressional investigators...
Now look, now there on the right, that's Lisa Page, Peter Strzok's girlfriend.
But since sources describe Baker's testimony as forthcoming, deliberate, and sober, Baker telling congressional investigators that he believed then acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe and then FBI lawyer Lisa Page when they said Rosenstein's talk about recording the president and removing him from office was, quote, serious. Baker, who was not at the Justice Department meeting, said Page and McCabe came to him immediately after, and based on what he learned, Baker told investigators he believed Rosenstein was working with two people inside the administration after President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Wow.
Asked about Baker's closed-door interview, a Justice Department spokesperson said they stood by their denials, including this one from Rosenstein. I never pursued or authorized recording the president, any suggestion that I have ever advocated for the removal of the president is absolutely false. Rosenstein is expected on Capitol Hill Thursday, but our sources report tonight that there's a lot of internal tension among committee members about the format, with some lawmakers...
Okay. Now, when I saw that on X a little while ago, I mean, I'm just disgusted by it as I am frightened by it, right? This was an FBI coup attempt of President Trump in his first term over the firing of Comey. You know, FBI directors, when they're appointed to a 10-year term. Did you know that? Now, they do serve at the pleasure of the president, and they can be removed. And, you know, all this, the legend of J. Edgar Hoover that we keep here, the Hoover files, they disappeared. The Hoover files never disappeared. The FBI kept the Hoover files, and they just have been adding to them all these decades since he died in the 70s. And they have 10-year terms, but Hoover was there from the beginning till when he died, right, like 50 years. Now we know why. This is what they do. The FBI coup is what overthrew President Nixon and Vice President Spiro Agnew, and they plugged in deep state operative, Gerald Ford, and they tried to do it again to Donald Trump. And they were very open about it. Oh, yeah, they got their denials now. This is the country we've been living in. This is what we've been saved from. See, we were talking yesterday about the grand jury, the Bondi grand jury into the Obama coup, and what are their motivations, and why were they doing all these things? Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons why they've been doing the things, and different people have different agendas. But the overall reason, like a big umbrella that all of these coup conspirators fit in, is a pretty simple one. He's not part of their club. He is not a part of their club. There is a ruling elite that run our country, and he's not a part of that ruling elite. And they don't have any blackmail material on him to control him. That's why they did everything they could do, every step of the way, all the way to Butler and beyond, to stop him. And now they're running scared because he's back in the White House and he's not messing around. And the Pam Bondi grand jury, there are a lot of people freaking out. I mean, look at this. Yesterday, they sent out all these subpoenas, right, to bring people in to testify in this Epstein congressional hearing. Robert Mueller is one of the many, including the Clintons, that gets one. And then today we find out that Mueller is in some assisted living facility. Come on, really? Give me a break. All of a sudden, he's in some assisted living facility? Oh, yeah, I'm sure they have the paperwork that say he's been there for a long time. I don't buy that. Robert Mueller's part of the club. I was telling my wife about this earlier. Robert Mueller went to high school with John Kerry. And they were very tight. They played lacrosse. They were on the lacrosse team together at this elite blue blood school. And their other best friend was a guy whose name I always forget. He was the director of the CIA back during the Reagan-Bush 1 era. Okay, these are people that are of a secret nobility that truly have been running our country, this secret nobility. I call them the Eyes Wide Shut crowd. If you know the Kubrick movie, you'll kind of get that reference. There's this secret society of people that run this country. And he's not a part of it, and they can't control him. So because he's not a part of it, of the club, because they can't control him, they don't have blackmail material on him or anything, they set out to do these types of things to stop him that way. That's what it's all about. And we all know this. Now, if you'd like to call in, please do. If you're watching live on YouTube, the number is pinned in the live stream. It's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, hi. I'm Susan from Canada.
Hey, Susan.
Hi. I just wondered if you could give me some insight. I don't understand why all of those people are being tied to the Epstein case.
What do you mean?
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
in those subpoenas yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, because everything that has come out, and by the way, Pam Bondi got a subpoena yesterday too, because she's overseeing the files. All of the people that have been named in the Epstein case that visited Epstein Island have been Democrats. And while the files went public, or where the investigations and deals were going on, was during these Democrat administrations like Obama. That's why. Mm-hmm. And President Trump has said that they've been adding to these files for years to blackmail people. Mm-hmm. That's why. They're getting to the bottom of it.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
This is not, your thing is wrong. This is not a second coup. This is the original coup. Think about it.
Well, I didn't say it's a second coup. It's another coup.
Well, no, because think about it. What happened? They came up with the whole dossier thing. Then what happened? Comey goes in there to try to use a thing to blackmail President Trump, right?
Yeah.
Slaps it on his desk and tries to blackmail President Trump with it. Trump later fires Comey, Rod Rosenstein then hires Mueller to be the special prosecutor or whatever it was to do the Mueller report.
Yep.
That's the timeline. And he's up neck deep, maybe more than that, eye deep in a river of manure. You know, that's Rosenstein. I've always stated for a fact that probably Trump should have probably fired Rosenstein on day one.
Yeah, I forgot about, Rosenstein's a name. I'd forgotten about Rosenstein until I saw this today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's part of this thing. I mean, we've said it. That whole thing in Washington, D.C. is an incestuous thing, right?
Well, what it is, it's like the old days of the royalty in England. There is a nobility in this country. It's a secret nobility, and we're not a part of that. He's not a part of that. And these are the people that run the country. Yeah,
and that's the thing. And he was in the DOJ. He was a DOJ lawyer.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I appreciate the call. And I've talked about this for a few years when these things come up. So much of what President Trump has gone through with the lawfare is because of firing Comey. A lot of this is from firing Comey, no doubt about it. Now, we got some information on if you're on hold, stand by. We got some information on the Bondi grand jury, and this is some good stuff. John Solomon, he's the Woodward and Bernstein of the Obama coup story, the Russiagate that's been coming out. And the Trump administration and the Justice Department have been leaking everything to John Solomon, it seems to me, and everything he's reported has been true. In fact, if you remember John Solomon, that Friday at Turning Point USA in Tampa, he told us in about a week there's going to be a big thing, and then he was right. A week later, Tulsi Gabbard declassified all that information, and the Bondi criminal case has begun. He told us that a week before it happened, and he's been right on everything with this story since. Now, we were talking on yesterday's program and a little bit this morning about the Bondi grand jury for the Obama coup conspirators. Grand juries are secret. They didn't tell us where it was at or anything. Now we got some information. This is John Solomon with his latest reporting on the Bondi Obama coup conspiracy grand jury.
To make it easy to gather evidence, I think the three places to look are New York and Washington, just for assisting grand juries, but not for bringing indictments. That is common that prosecutors use multiple grand juries because of where people live, save the travel costs. I think the big banana grand jury, the one that will decide on indictments, will probably be put in Fort Pierce, Florida.
Okay, now this is an interesting thing. So John Solomon is reporting that he believes, through his report, his sources, he believes that the big Pam Bondi Obama coup conspiracy is in Fort Pierce, Florida, and that's a very, very important place. Fort Pierce, Florida. That is where the Mar-a-Lago documents case was held with Judge Cannon and her federal courtroom. That's in Fort Pierce, Florida. And the golf course assassin, his trial is at the federal courthouse in Fort Pierce, Florida. It's really amazing how much is centering around Fort Pierce, Florida. And Fort Pierce, Florida is a tiny little town. I'm shocked that they have a federal courthouse. All right, so let's get back to John Solomon here. This is great stuff. That's a very MAGA area, so we're going to get a good jury pool on the grand jury and in the trials in Fort Pierce.
To make it easy to gather evidence, I think the three places to look are New York and Washington, just for assisting grand juries, but not for bringing indictments. That is common that prosecutors use multiple grand juries because of where people live, save the travel costs. I think the big banana grand jury, the one that will decide on indictments, will probably be put in Fort Pierce, Florida, which is the same area where President Trump's Mar-a-Lago classified documents case was brought and ultimately dismissed. The reason for that is that's where the most recent acts of an ongoing conspiracy may have been committed, that's where the raid on Mar-a-Lago was authorized from, where Jack Smith did his work, where it was determined that Jack Smith wasn't lawfully impaneled as a special prosecutor. That's an important act. And where there are now concerns, according to the Office of Special Counsel, the whistleblower office, that Jack Smith may have engaged in election politics while operating as a prosecutor. So the reason that's important is if you do the most current events and you impanel the grand jury in Florida for charging purposes, all the things that can go all the way back to 2016 can flow through that one grand jury as the charging instrument. And the way we're going to see this evolve is that we've already had grand juries, right? We had John Durham do grand juries. He brought indictments. People got acquitted.
Yep.
They're not looking at this as Mickey Mouse little cases. They're not looking at this guy lied, this guy filed a false report. They're looking at what started with Hillary Clinton's clearing on the email case and the starting of Russia collusion through Ukraine impeachment, where they hide Hunter Biden's problems but try to pretend Donald Trump has a Ukraine problem, all the way through Jack Smith is one ongoing criminal conspiracy. And in that, the overriding charge of the conspiracy will be a deprivation of civil liberties under color of government authority, meaning the United States government used its powers in the intelligence community and the FBI and the Justice Department to meddle in elections. And by doing so, they deprive people like Carter Page and George Papadopoulos and President Trump and Mike Flynn of their civil liberties. They may have deprived all Americans of their civil rights to a fair and free election. And as a result, that is the overarching charge of the conspiracy. Then there are many overt acts and subcrimes that could be charged against that, false statements. But when you take it in that context.
Okay, so we got a little more information there, and his reporting has been very solid on this. And there's no better place to have this than in Fort Pierce, Florida. It's a great MAGA jury pool, and it's awesome. All right, let's take some more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Nick from exiled from Baltimore.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, I wanted to mention I'm watching the screen and I see you're playing the thing with John Solomon, so I couldn't hear what's going on. But I wanted to add something. I don't know if you added it or whatever.
Well, what John Solomon said is that his sources are telling him that the Bondi Obama coup conspiracy grand jury is in Fort Pierce, Florida, and where Judge Cannon's courtroom is. Where that's the best place. It doesn't get better than that.
Good, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Keep it out of D.C. Although Judge Janine is there, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, but that jury pool up there sucks.
Oh yeah. Well, D.C. sucks. It's like here. Anyway, I wanted to mention. I always thought Rod Rosenstein was no good, but the other one I want to see them get is Sally Yates. Yeah. She was fired right away. And then she wound up working for a financial outfit in Atlanta somewhere. But she's no good either, and she needs to be indicted because she conspired against President Trump. She's part of that coup. She was in there with Susan Rice, and in that meeting, that big meeting with Comey and all of them, she was there. So she needs to go.
Here we have. You're right, Nick. And Rod Rosenstein, I told. Mike in Louisiana, I'd forgotten about Rod Rosenstein because this was so many years ago, and there's been so many things that have happened since. But there's going to be a lot of old names pop up.
Oh, there's going to be, yeah, you're right. And you see, they can't really stop this. I wanted to mention this. I don't really care about President Obama at this point because he's already been gotten, if you know what I mean. There's going to be more stuff coming out. His whole legacy's been destroyed, so it doesn't really matter anymore. The thing is to get these people that were
you're right.
Him.
What I've been telling people is, listen, Nixon was a good guy. He got railroaded. However, it was a wise decision not to prosecute him because it would just tear the country apart. But if these Rod Rosensteins and these other people like we're talking about, if they go to jail, future presidents are going to have a hard time getting a coup going with people that are afraid that they're going to go to prison. People don't want to go to prison.
And the other thing too, Brian, to add to what you're saying, and I'll get off the line for some other people to get in, and that is this will open up. This will clear the way for good people to come into D.C.
Yes.
Right now, Trump brought all these great people in the first administration, and they were threatened and all this and blackmailed and whatever. This team he has here now is solid, and they're impenetrable.
That's right.
And it's great. And this is going to clean, and talk about draining the swamp, it's going to clean D.C. up and out. And I love it.
I do too. This is great.
It'll clean this whole region up, by the way.
Absolutely. All right, Nick, it's good to hear from you.
Hey, thanks, man.
All right, take care. All right, I'm going to take one more call before we break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, Brian. How you doing?
All right.
All right. Yes, I was just listening to that report. John Solomon, he's really good with his reporting, but I believe that this time something's gonna happen. I'm not sure, but I do believe that they're gonna be able to go after these people. You know, the crowd, the deep state crowd. You know, it's so sad though. It really is.
Well, it is happening,
it really,
right? It is happening. It's not like will it happen? Yeah. It's happening. You know, this grand jury here in this Obama coup grand jury. This story I opened with that just broke today with Catherine Herridge on the FBI coup in the first term. Adam Schiff facing 30 years in prison for mortgage fraud. This is all swamp draining. Everything is happening.
Yeah. I heard the report this morning when I woke up, and I was like so upset. I was trying to call the show, but you were so busy. And I was like, no, I ain't going to get on that. I tried yesterday, too. I said, oh, Lord, I can't get on the show.
Yeah, it's been pretty busy.
It was so busy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear from you. Thanks so much for calling.
All right. You're welcome.
All right, take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. If you'd like to call in, you can. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can call in live. The number's pinned in the live stream. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast, where MAGA comes to talk. Our number to call in toll-free is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Hear ye, hear ye. Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Floridians, take note. Ron DeSantis and the state of Florida have allocated $280 million for the 25-26 fiscal year to fund new grants under My Safe Florida Home program. This grant is up to $10,000 when you spend $15,000 or more on your project. This may include roofing and wind mitigation systems. Go online at mysafefloridahome.com and get approved before the money is gone. If you need help, please call me, Tom Laporta, 954-604-4602, or find us at laportaroofing.com. It's simple. When you spend $1, the state matches $2 up to $10,000. They send you a check. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it is. So again, call us at 954-604-4602 or find us at laportaroofing.com.
What if the quiet path to your dreams was hidden in the quiet beauty of a poem? Destiny Keys from Judith, available at barnesandnoble.com, is a collection of inspirational poetry, and it's also a guide to unlocking your best self. Through powerful, soul-stirring verses, the author explores the keys to a fulfilled life: gratitude, role models, goals, tranquility, and meditation. Each poem in Destiny Keys is crafted to lift your spirit, clear your mind, and help you reconnect with what truly matters. Whether you're at the start of your journey or looking to realign your focus, Destiny Keys offers the encouragement and clarity you've been searching for. It's a book to keep on your nightstand and in your heart. Order your copy right now at barnesandnoble.com. Available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. Take that first step toward your destiny, one poem at a time. Destiny Keys from Judith at barnesandnoble.com. Ignite the imagination of every sci-fi fan with the classic novel from L. Ron Hubbard, Battlefield Earth. This epic story of alien domination and human resilience is the perfect gift for fathers, sons, and lovers of adventure who are fans of Dune, Ender's Game, and Star Wars. In Battlefield Earth, meet Johnny. He's a young man who refuses to surrender to humanity's alien oppressors. In a world where Earth lies in ruins, Johnny's courage intelligence, and determination ignite a daring rebellion that could save mankind or seal its fate. You can also experience the award-winning audiobook. It's a stunning, full-production masterpiece. It's like a blockbuster movie. Will humanity rise against overwhelming odds? Will courage and resilience defeat alien domination? Find out when you read Battlefield Earth from L. Ron Hubbard. Available right now on Amazon in Kindle, hardcover, paperback, and audiobook. Battlefield Earth, where the human spirit soars beyond the stars, on Amazon. Some mysteries refuse to stay buried. From author Merrick Pucone comes a gothic supernatural mystery that pulls you deep into the shadows of an abandoned mansion where every whisper, every creak hides a truth waiting to be uncovered. The Abyss of Stolen Souls, available on Amazon. Set in the eerie stillness of rural Louisiana in 2004, The Abyss of Stolen Souls is a story filled with mystery, family secrets, and supernatural forces. It follows Alex, a private investigator haunted by dreams of a girl he's never met in a house he's never seen, yet somehow knows too well. Alex is pulled into a web of betrayal, dark magic, and a family legacy steeped in pain and power. The Abyss of Stolen Souls is a story of survival and redemption, where the line between reality and nightmare is blurred, and confronting the truth may be more dangerous than the lies. How far would you go to uncover the truth? Find out when you read The Abyss of Stolen Souls from author Merrick Pucone. Available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. Order your copy right now and step into the mystery.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Thanks for tuning in. Our number 888-465-2631. I'll take another call or two before we move on to some other things. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from your mama's crib. I just had a...
All right, I'm sure you are. Oh, my goodness. All right, so there's a lot of very disappointed people out there who are shocked that they have to pay their student loans back, and this girl made this video. Listen.
So as it turns out, the student loans that I've been paying $1,500 a month for 2 years have a 17% interest rate. So what I thought I've been paying off for all this time, I'm actually, I owe more than what I started off with. What the fuck? So, Jeff Bezos, this would be a really cool fucking time to Venmo me, bro. I owe $90,000, and I didn't even spend that much on school.
Oh my goodness.
Any rich person, please tap in. Kourtney Kardashian, you probably have 8 houses. I'm never gonna be able to buy one because I went to college. I just signed up to be an egg donor. Guess what? Got approved. Who wants my fucking kids? I can't afford them, so...
I don't know if I'd... Do you think her eggs are good with these kind of mood swings?
Start a bidding more. Just fucking take them. What do you want? My left arm too? What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm gonna be in debt for my whole fucking life. How does that even make sense? I signed up for this shit when I was 17. This should not be legal, bro. I got upset about it at work, and my coworker was like, don't you have a rich relative who can pay that for you? No, my family's poor. No. And the worst fucking part is, bro, look where I am. I can't go in because I can't spend money, but I just want to be here because it makes me feel better.
Wow, they're taking begging to a whole new level. This entitlement of college students, okay, do you believe her story, by the way? Or is she trying to get some rich guys or any guy to send her some money? OnlyFans will be coming next, right? When I went to school, I went to college, and it took me a long time to get through. I went to college as an adult. I paid my own way, and it took me a long time to get through because I was working and I was paying for it. I wasn't making a lot of money at the time, and I was married. My daughter was a baby, and I was going to school. I paid for it. I would take 1 or 2 classes in a semester, not a full load, or sometimes I'd skip a semester, right? I mean, that's what you do. And they have conditioned her age group, I guess millennials and Gen Z, that college is a 4 to 6 year vacation. You just take all these student loans, rack up the debt, go to school for as long as you can, drag it out, take 5-6 years to get a 4-year degree, and then go to graduate school, live in the dorm, take loans, get your computers and everything paid for on the loans and everything, and then you have a debt that's as large as a home mortgage. I'm sorry. That's the way they knew what they were doing. That's it. She should have gotten one of those MRS degrees. Do girls still get MRS degrees? You know what those are? I haven't heard that one in a long time. All right, let's try a couple more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Junior. I'm calling from Texas.
Okay.
Just wanted to know what the stream was about. Sorry, I saw the number.
You just couldn't resist. Well, why didn't you watch for a little bit and then you would learn?
Oh, sorry. No, well, I mean, is it a debate about what if Trump's a good president or something?
Well, of course. Well, there's no debate about that. He's a great president.
Oh, okay.
What's the debate? You don't like Trump? You don't like Trump?
No, I mean, I didn't say I didn't like Trump. I mean, he's. I guess there's the opinion that he's doing really good, and
Well, what's your opinion? Don't you have an opinion?
Yeah, I think he's doing because right now, at least the way I'm looking at it, it seems like he wants to help the country.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, you're learning. Yeah, right. He's a great president. Thank you for your call. Oh my good, nice guy. That's cool. Welcome. If you're new here, welcome. And before you call, just watch the stream a little bit. You'll hear me talking about something, and you might agree, you might disagree, and then call in. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rex Jackson, Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi. What's on your mind?
Yo, man. Hey, you tripping. I would tell you tripping straight up.
About what?
How do you think that this president's a good president? After all the stuff he's done did, after all the forms that...
The stuff he done did, what has he done did that's bad in this second term? There's a story that just came out today. 82% of the S&P 500 companies, right, have beaten their quarterly earning estimates. It's their highest earnings in 4 years.
Okay, check this out. You cannot use that metric to basically...
Oh, okay, so you don't accept that. Egg prices are down. Egg prices have dropped 87%. Does that metric work for you?
No, it's still not a good metric.
Nothing works. Well, no metric works for you. The only metric that works in your mind is if someone says Trump sucks.
No, sir. Based off of all the people who have lost their farms.
Who's lost their farm? Because of Trump.
What you mean? Who lost their farms?
Because of Trump. Who's lost their farm?
Yes, because he put a freeze on Biden's.
No, I didn't ask you about a freeze. Who has lost their farm because of Trump?
I'm telling you who lost a farm. I'm telling you that a lot of farmers have lost farms because he put a freeze. I
have not seen a single story.
I know you haven't because you watch Fox News.
No, I don't really watch Fox News too much. Tell me where I can go. Tell me. I've got my I've got my phone. Tell me what to Google. Who has lost their farm because of Trump? I'll look it up right now. What should I Google?
Just Google just what you just said.
What?
Just Google it.
Who
and you will
has lost their farm? Okay, hold on. Who has lost their farm because of Donald Trump? Okay.
I can't give you.
I don't see anything here about people losing their farm.
Just go ahead and just type it in.
I did.
I can't give you all the names specifics right now.
I don't see anything about people losing their farm.
Huh?
I don't see any stories here about people losing their farm because of Trump. Some stuff about trade wars. Do you have another example? One that's like real?
Oh, that one is real.
It's not. I Googled what you said. I don't see anything about it.
all over the Midwest.
All over the Midwest. Well, but it's not in the. Well, tell me where I can look this up. Tell me what to look up.
What?
Tell me where I can find this. Farmers that have lost their farms because of Trump. That's what you said.
Just go on YouTube.
Go on YouTube. No, I'm not going to go on YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now live. I'm not going to go on YouTube. I got my phone in my hand. Tell me what to Google. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Just vacuous. You know, talking to liberals with their talking points, it's like trying to have a conversation with a telemarketer, right? A telemarketer has their script. You get them off the script and they're lost. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Bob. I'm from New York.
Yeah, New York.
Huh? I just ran into your little show. I was really curious. I totally despise Trump, and I was just like wondering. I just like talking to opposition. I don't really like talking to echo chambers. I was wondering what your position on the Epstein files.
What do you mean? What's my position on the Epstein files?
Are you like upset he didn't release it, or do you want him to release it?
I really don't cover crime history stories. I mean, do you want to talk to me about Fatty Arbuckle, perhaps the Fatty Arbuckle trial? Do you want to talk about the Lindbergh kidnapping? I mean, come on. I talk about news and with an emphasis on the new part of news. This is not a history channel.
I mean, it is on the news, is it not?
Nah, it's old news. Very old news. He's dead. Epstein's dead. His operation shut down. That scumbucket's operation shut down.
But you still
What's your opinion on the O.J. Simpson trial? Do you have an opinion on jury nullification in the O.J. Simpson trial?
I think if needed, he could have been.
It's needed. It's needed because I asked you about the O.J. Simpson trial. Can we talk about the O.J. Simpson trial, or how about
Sure.
Or how about the Robert Blake trial? You want to talk about the Robert Blake? Why do you think I'm not talking about the O.J. Simpson trial, which was a pretty big story?
Diversion?
No, it's old news, man. It's old news.
But the thing is, it's not old news, and we're finding out new information day by day by day.
Really? What have we found out? Oh, day by day. What have we found out new today about Epstein?
Well, not today particularly, but yesterday.
Well, okay, you say, okay, what about yesterday? What about yesterday? What did we find out new yesterday?
Well, yesterday we found out there's more people on that list.
No, that's what did we find out about the list yesterday that we didn't know before?
Well, pretty much like there's more billionaires.
No, we didn't know. That's just something you made up. There's no new news. It's old news. Hey, appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, I'm rubbing my big fat belly for you, Brian.
I'm sure you are. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. On the line, we have Bruce. Bruce is a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. He heard me talking with Joe Thomas about annuities and what a great deal they are, and he went in with his wife, and now he's a client. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian.
So tell me about your experience with Jupiter Joe Thomas.
A fine gentleman. We sat down with Joe, and we explained everything to him, and we brought all our information, and he worked everything out great.
The cool thing about annuities is your money's never at risk. You're guaranteed a revenue stream for the rest of your life, but there's a bonus, really a signing bonus, where you can make a boatload of money before you even leave Joe Thomas's office. Can you talk a little bit about that, Bruce?
Well, that's where I was surprised when we sat down. We talked about the bonuses, and to my amazement, it was 10%, and there was even another one that's bigger.
Wow, that's amazing. So you made 10% on your money before you even got back in your car.
Yeah, it was more than that, but it was great.
Listen, guys, do what Bruce did. Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call. You can set up a free consultation either on the phone or in the office, and Joe Thomas will put together a custom proposal just for you. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999 and online at jupiterjoe.com. All right, Bruce, thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Imagine stepping into your kitchen and it's filled with vibrant vegetables, fragrant spices, and the joy of creating meals that nourish your body and the planet. In the new book, Plant-Powered Plates, Sustainable Plant-Based Pleasures for Every Palate, from author Bain Kalange. Available on Amazon, you'll discover 100 delicious plant-based recipes designed to fuel you with energy and simplify your transition to a balanced vegan lifestyle. From mindful eating and nutrition essentials to a 30-day meal plan, the author is passionate about healthy, sustainable living and has a love for simple, nourishing meals and mindful habits. He wrote Plant-Powered Plates to help others just like you enjoy the benefits of plant-based eating and shares practical, actionable ideas that'll inspire a balanced, thoughtful lifestyle, one plate at a time. Order your copy of Plant-Powered Plates right now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited. Are you struggling with family dysfunction or toxic patterns? Adult Children Decoded from author David Keyes is here to help. Without the jargon, but with practical healing steps and even a bit of humor. Book 1, Break the Chains of Family Dysfunction, and Book 2, Faith After Fire, Healing Through the Power of Prayer, are available right now on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. The audiobook for Book 1 is coming in August. That's Adult Children Decoded from author David Keyes. Your path to healing starts today. From author Dr. Douglas MacLean comes a hauntingly beautiful story of passion, separation, and the mysterious threads that tie two souls together, even when everything else falls apart. The Last Whisper, available on Amazon. In the sweltering heat of Louisiana, a soldier meets a woman who changes everything. Their connection is instant, their bond unshakable. But when duty calls, love is tested across oceans, through war, and into the unknown. The Last Whisper is a story that echoes the Notebook's romance and the emotional depth of Ghost. It's a story of healing, memory, and a love so deep it refuses to let go, even when nothing is certain. Sometimes the strongest voice in your life is the one you can't explain. Order your copy of The Last Whisper from author Douglas MacLean on Amazon, available in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and Kindle Unlimited. Love, loss, and one truth that lingers long after the final goodbye. The Last Whisper on Amazon.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for tuning in. All right, let's go back to our phones. There's one opening on the board. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Davidson from Wisconsin.
Hey, Wisconsin. What's up?
Hey, what's up? I was just curious. I'm just not understanding why you wouldn't want Bill Clinton to go to jail.
Why would what?
Why you wouldn't want Bill Clinton to go to jail?
Well, I didn't say I didn't want Bill Clinton to go to jail.
But you don't want Epstein. Epstein was really
this is, you know what I'm having a hard time figuring out? Like, how old are you?
Me? I'm like 38.
How old?
38.
38. You married? You married?
Yeah.
You have kids?
Does that matter?
Do you have kids?
One. Does that matter?
Well, what I try to wonder is, why are there a bunch of guys who just sit around and fantasize about Jeffrey Epstein and his island all day? It seems a little weird.
I don't think people fantasize.
I think it's a little strange and creepy. It's almost like there's an Epstein cell in the audience. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, you called me. What's on your mind? All right. I guess it slipped her mind. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is... should I say my name in my native language or in English?
What?
Should I say my name in the native language?
No. You can't
English?
say your name and nobody cares about you. Oh, my goodness. Great calls on the show today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, good afternoon, Brian. This is Frank calling in from Michigan.
Hey, Frank.
I just wanted to say it's amazing what's going on right now with all this stuff coming out with the subpoenas. We got to hang in there and be patient. And I really do appreciate listening to your radio show. I've been listening since 2015.
Wow.
You guys
Awesome.
have a great day, and be safe, man.
All right.
Stop.
All right, appreciate it. All right, good guy. Been listening for 10 years. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's kind of rude to hang up in mid-conversation, don't you think?
I was done. I was done.
Speech for a second, you get,
I was done.
you're-
I've got
you're
other
pro
people
about
on.
something
I've
and
got
you
other
agree
people
with,
on hold.
You hang up.
No,
But we weren't done talking about the conversation.
I was done. I'm not interested
I
in
just
what
don't
you
know
have
why
to
you're running
say.
away from it. Why are you running away from it?
Because you're
Why are
boring.
you running away from it?
You're boring.
No, not necessarily. You're a coward.
Yeah, you're
a coward,
boring.
and you
No.
just live in an echo chamber. You
No.
live in an echo chamber.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go back to the echo chamber. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Brian. I just want to let you know I really like the show you're doing. I'm really glad there's someone out here just speaking the truth for everybody, you know, saying what the real American spirit is. I just want to let you know I'm rubbing my big fat belly to this right now.
Oh, that's nice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I called in, but I don't know why I got hung up on. I mean, I'm Junior.
All right. Take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jack from Sarasota again, Brian. Earlier you were talking about some of the cases where farmers were directly impacted by Donald Trump's policies.
No, that's not what we were talking about. No.
In Minnesota, the Carrack family in Minnesota had to close their farm. Jacob Thomas in Kansas had to close
Hold on
their
a
farm.
second here. Hold on a second here. The question the question was this. Excuse me. The question was who lost. Excuse me. The question was who lost their farm because of Trump, not people who ran into financial trouble. Let me give you an example.
These are people
Excuse
who
me,
lost
I'm
their farm.
speaking. I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
I'm just trying to help you
There are
research.
people, they wake up in the morning to go to work. They go out in their driveway and their car's gone. Because, and this happens every day. I used to have a guy that.
What does that happen?
Well, if you
farms
if you would listen,
Oh.
okay. I'm going. I don't just babble like you and these liberals. I give thoughtful responses. Okay.
I'm just giving you facts.
You're not giving me facts. You're throwing out a bunch of names. So people wake up in the morning.
Look
Their
'em up.
car. Do you want to stay on the air? Stop interrupting. Stop interrupting.
Talking.
Well, yeah, it's a talk show. That's the format. It's a talk show. I talk. That's what I do, right? You wouldn't call a rock show and say, hey, stop playing that rock and roll. So somebody wakes up and, all right, goodbye. I mean, I'm trying to talk, but you can't, stop talking. Someone gets their car repossessed. Trump's president. Whose fault is it? Is it the person's fault that they didn't make their car payment? Is it Trump's fault that they didn't make their car payment? I didn't say that there are not people that every day somewhere in America, someone gets evicted, someone gets their car repoed, somebody gets foreclosed on. It doesn't mean it's Trump's fault, right? Does that make sense to people? I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me. But throwing out random names of people that have run into some financial problems, the economy is taking off like gangbusters in the last 6 months since President Trump has been president. All right, let's take another call or two, and then we'll take a break and get back to some other issues. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Is your refrigerator running?
That's about as relevant as the Epstein caller. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? That's an old guy with an old joke. You're on the air.
I'm an old guy. I'm an old joke.
No, the guy before you.
Oh, gotcha. No, Ted from California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was wondering, do you guys think that the Democrats have a pedophile ring going on, or is that just
I'm just trying to figure out why a guy. This is your third time calling. You call me again, we'll never speak. It's one call per show. Okay? You call me again, we'll never talk again. Today, one time per show. One time per show. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You call me again, we'll never speak again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I love jerking off.
I'm sure you do. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Make it 4 times per call. 4 times per show. Trump's a pedophile.
No, it's not going to happen again. That was your last time you'll ever be on this show. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to some other stories, all right? I'm Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And liberal, you can tell, everything that's going on, liberals are having major meltdowns, aren't they? We'll be right back. I was telling Steve Kane this morning that come August, it'll be 3 years since Dr. Philip Appleton rid me of pain for the first time. It was in my knee. And my knee had been hurting me since I was 20, 21 years old. So it had been 30 years of suffering. And sometimes my knee would act up. It was my right knee. It would act up so much, I just wanted to sit down and go to sleep, because the pain was so bad. And Dr. Appleton treated me. And I know it was 3 years ago, because I remember a salesman from the radio station took me to meet Dr. Appleton. And I told Dr. Appleton about my knee. I got that free consultation that you can take advantage of too, the free consultation with Dr. Appleton. And he treated me with a laser treatment on my knee, which is 100% painless. There's no shots, no injections, no downtime. In fact, not only is it completely painless, you don't even feel it when it's happening. So that was on Thursday. The next day I woke up on Friday and my knee was already improving. I went for a second treatment on Saturday. First treatment Thursday, second treatment on Saturday, and then Monday the pain was gone. And 3 years coming in August, the pain has not returned because the laser treatment doesn't just rid you of pain, it repairs the damage that's causing the pain. It's amazing. It works. And he's rid me of pain 6 times after that for a total of 7, Dr. Appleton. We have listeners that travel literally from all over the United States to see Dr. Appleton. He is incredible. The laser treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Arthritis, which, by the way, he rid me of arthritis in my hand, bursitis, work and sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck and back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, which I understand is incredibly painful, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain, and any type of pain you've ever heard of. Because I keep meeting listeners all the time with new pains I never heard of, and they're now living pain-free thanks to Dr. Appleton. Give him a call. Now, remember, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to go back to where we began because there's the big story today, and I want to recap this for people that missed the beginning of the show. This is just absolutely, if you're on hold, hang in there. This story that Catherine Herridge broke is quite possibly one of the biggest stories that has ever been exposed in the history of Washington politics. It really is. And it's hard to say. That means a lot because there's been so many breaking things that have come out in this Trump second term about everything against him. But she uncovered another coup, which, yeah, it may be the original coup, but she uncovered another coup that we had not heard about yet against President Trump in his first term. Listen.
Sean, Baker's testimony matters because he had a pivotal role at the Bureau as the top FBI lawyer. He had the ear of then-Director James Comey, and his testimony is at odds with Rosenstein's denials. Last week, he told Fox News he couldn't get into it.
Mr. Baker, did you handle the dossier? Did you warn Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein that there was exculpatory information before he signed the final surveillance warrant? Mr. Baker, will you take our questions?
But since sources describe Baker's testimony as forthcoming, deliberate, and sober, Baker telling congressional investigators that he believed then acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe and then FBI lawyer LeeZep Page when they said Rosenstein's talk about recording the president and removing him from office was, quote, serious. Baker, who was not at the Justice Department meeting, said Page and McCabe came to him immediately after, and based on what he learned, Baker told investigators he believed Rosenstein was working with 2 people inside the administration after President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Wow.
Asked about Baker's closed-door interview, a Justice Department spokesperson said they stood by their denials, including this one from Rosenstein. I never pursued or authorized recording the president, and any suggestion that I have ever advocated for the removal of the president is absolutely false. Rosenstein is expected on Capitol Hill Thursday, but our sources report tonight that there's a lot of internal tension among committee members about the format, with some lawmakers pushing for a transcribed interview with a court reporter and others satisfied by a briefing, but these briefings can often be the subject of misinterpretation, Sean.
Okay, so that Thursday, that's tomorrow. Look at everything President Trump has gone through. It's insane. And, these two big coups, right? We've got this new one, which was before the Obama coup. Then we have the Obama coup. And both of those coups, there's one person involved in both of them. Comey. Comey was involved in this one because it resulted because of his firing. He was in the Oval Office with Obama when he had his team there craft the false intelligence. There's going to be a lot of names that we haven't heard in a long time. There's also going to be a lot of new names we probably have never heard of before that worked on this on their staffs. But the two top guys that seem to be connected to everything, Brennan and Comey. And when Comey got hauled in for that seashell nonsense a few weeks back, and they let him go, I think they let him go because he was under surveillance. And they have been monitoring his communications. They knew that this grand jury, and they were going to go for indictments. There's been an investigation going on for months in the Trump administration of Comey. And they got put in a position where they had to haul him in because he posted that picture on Instagram. And I'm starting to think, and you can let me know whether you agree with this or not. Comey's not stupid. He's insane and he's evil, but he's not stupid. And he may have been testing to see if he was under surveillance with that seashell thing. That seashell incident with him was such a stupid thing for him to do and then brag about it online and everything. He may have gotten picked up on purpose to see if he could bust their surveillance operation on him, to see if they were monitoring him. I would not be surprised at all. Even though we're running the government now, there are people deep inside the bureaucracy that are still loyal to these coup conspirators. And when these stories come out like this one, which is a new coup that we didn't know, it's an old coup, but it's new to us. Lisa Page, Strzok's girlfriend. And I always remember that one text that she sent Peter Strzok. She says, I just went out and bought a copy of All the President's Men. And this is our blueprint for taking down Trump, she said. Remember that in one of the texts? She's one of the ones that are probably going to get indicted. Now, if you'd like to support my content, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description of the program on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes, as well as a bunch of exclusive content that my wife and I both post to Patreon that no one else has access to other than Patreon supporters. And if you become a top Patreon supporter, you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. So the names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. Some of these names, you may see them in the chat rooms all the time, maybe even now if you're watching live on YouTube. I want to thank SFjr, Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, and Janice. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you all. And again, if you would like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of the episode on whatever platform you're tuned in on. And the direct website address is patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow. Patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow. Thanks for your support, everyone. This is why when you see what President Trump has gone through, This is why I say he deserves a free pass on everything in this second term, because there's a bigger picture of things that he's operating on, bigger than we can see. And all of us, I'm a part of this. We were losing patience with Pam Bondi in the FBI under Kash Patel, right? We were. But they were doing, what are we finding out now? They were doing their job. And I was talking to the Maria called in earlier, and usually what happens when these stories break is a lot of people will say, "Oh, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to these people." Everything is happening. We've got Schiff in California facing 30 years for mortgage fraud. We got Letitia James facing 20, 30 years in prison for mortgage fraud, right? We've got the Pam Bondi grand jury for the Obama coup conspirators that have all kinds of people on that list, like Hillary, the Clintons, Mueller, and many others, right? I mean, look at all these things. We got this new coup that Catherine Herridge and Fox just broke with Rosenstein and Lisa Page and the rest in the FBI over the firing of Comey. What's going on in Texas with the redistricting is fantastic. That's a part of this. From sea to shining sea, everywhere in between, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the North to the South, the swamp is being drained. And President Trump has a lot of things that he's working on that we find out about a little bit at a time, like we're finding out now. But, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and others, I'm very disappointed with Marjorie Taylor Greene. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene who are out there criticizing President Trump. Not only look at what he's been through, okay? Not only look at what he's been through, look at what he's doing. These people that he's taking down right now in this lawfare, these are big, powerful people that are part of a cabal of a secret government that's been running this country for 200 years. And he's taken on these very dangerous people. And Marjorie Taylor Greene dares to say he's not putting America first. What world is she in? I don't really get what she's doing, because Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, Brian Glenn's good friends with the president. He's part of the White House press corps. He asks very good questions every day. So I don't know what Marjorie Taylor Greene's doing. But if you're MAGA, President Trump is beyond criticism. Right? That's why I will never question President Trump. I will never disagree with President. We don't know what he's working. He has a perspective. He sees things we don't see. And he's doing exactly what we elected him to do. And this is swamp draining at a level that I don't think anyone thought was possible. But Trump's doing it. Now, if you're new to my program, make sure that you subscribe and follow on whatever platform you're listening on. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, you can catch the podcast live where I take live calls. And, of course, the Brian Craig Show podcast is on all podcast platforms. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.